Okay, so in this video we're going to work on actually displaying our blog. The first thing I want to do is add something to our comment model. So if we look at our post, similar to how we have, multiple comments within a post, we should also have multiple comments within a comment. Let's go ahead and just copy this from the post and then dive into our comment and then paste it in there. The next thing we're going to do is go into our service for post, and we are going to expand this get post. So currently it just returns the first or default based on the ID, but it doesn't turn anything with it. We're missing our creator, we're missing comments, and a couple other things. So let's just go ahead and work on that. First thing we want to do is make sure we include the creator. The next thing we want to do is add in the comments for a post. And for those comments, we want to then include the author of the comment. And we also want to include the comments within the comment. To do that, we need to go back up one level, include the comments again, then include the comments of the comment. So now we're going to create the view model to look at our post. So let's just go into our main project, then models, and then inside of this post view models, we're going to create a view model called post view model. And the only thing that's going to go inside of this post view model for now will just be a public post. Post. Now the next thing we're going to do is work inside of our post business manager. One thing I noticed I forgot to change back for our testing was this page size. So let's just go ahead and bump that up to whatever number you want. I'm choosing 20. So now we want to add a new method, and this method will be for getting that post view model that we just created. We have a get index view model. Let's create a get post view model. So this is going to be asynchronous. We do need to do some validation, some authorization checks. So we're going to go ahead and return an action result of the post view model, and we'll call it get post view model. And we'll be taking in a nullable int as well as the claims principal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is similar to down here. We're going to check if the ID is null, and if so, return a bad request. So I'm actually just going to copy that, and in fact I'm going to copy this and this. So throw it in here. So we're checking if the ID is null, then we're going to get the value, we're going to get the post, and then we're going to check if the post is null. So the next thing we want to do is we want to check if the post has been published. So if the post has not been published, we don't want to just completely say, okay, it's not been published, you can't view it at all. Rather, we want to check if we are the owner of the post or the author, and if the user is the author, then we will go ahead and allow them to view it, because maybe they're working on it and they want to see what it looks like in the post. We'll do the same check, so we can just copy that, throw it in here. The only thing we will change is this operations to read. Then similar to this, if they are not authorized, then we return the proper action result. And then if they make it this far, then we just simply return. And let's add this signature to our interface. So now, inside of our post authorization handler, we can add in the logic for a read request. So let's go into our handler. In here, we will add another requirement. And we want to check if the resource has not been published, and we want to check the application user is equal to the resource creator. If so, then we can succeed the requirement. That completes our post authorization handler for now. So let's hop on over to our post controller. And we are going to make a couple changes in here. One, for the most part, this controller, most of these actions require that the user be logged in. So let's add in the authorize tag. We're also going to extend our index because we want users to come to our index for the post to read a post. So for this action, take in a nullable int for the ID. Because this is where users will read posts, we want this particular action to allow anonymous. We are going to call our get post view model that we created in the post business manager, and that is asynchronous. So we'll have to make this a task of iActionResult. And then we'll grab that action result, do our check, and then so basically this, in fact I'll just copy, change that to get post view model. One last thing, as of now the way this is implemented, it will take us to a route post slash index slash the ID, and I don't want that index in there. So within these brackets, I'm just going to add in, and I'm going to set it to post slash and then the ID. Okay, so now we can fix up our views. First, let's make a stop in our admin index view. We notice that to view this post, we're currently going to the home controller and the post action, but we want to change that to the post controller and index action. Because we are viewing our post within the post controller, our layout currently for the post controller is that of the admin layout. So we want to be able to change the layout to fit the theme that we downloaded. What we can do is just inside of this post, we'll add another view. We'll call it read layout. And then inside of this, we're just going to open up our home layout. Going to copy all of this, paste it in this read layout, and then we're going to customize this header. So we don't want the admin header. Something I copied over from the template is this header, and I've set a few attributes, some of the view data. So a few of the attributes that we're setting is the header image, the header title, the author name, and the post date. Otherwise it's all pretty similar. And from here, we can just go inside of our views for the post index and add the following. I've already created this. You can just pause the video as needed. But essentially, we're setting the layout to equal the read layout that we just created. And then with the header image, the header title, author name, and post date, we are setting those in here. We're setting header image. We got to back out 2 directories to our user files, and then we go to our header image, and to check it out. Okay, so if we go here, we see that we have our title posted by the author's name on, and then the date it was posted. This was just some test data. Now if I log in and I go to my blogs, I see that I've created this test blog here, and if we view it, we see it displays all this lorem ipsum background image just as you would see in your admin page, except presented as a actual blog post. We notice that because we added in that route in our controller, it says post/1 instead of post/index/1. also, because this one is not published, as you can see, so if we go to that, I'm just going to copy that URL, and then I'm going to log out, and it should challenge us. So if I try and go there, yes, it requires a login, and the return URL is set to post and then 1. So if I log in, it'll bring me right back to it, and we're set.